Osseous jaw dropped. I unwrap the bar and tentatively break off the top corner. Grinning, I pop the morsel in my mouth. Mary Ellen follows suit and returns with a bag of cookies. My confidence and elation is rising. Soon, everyone is at the table with their own shot. I savor the moment and the chocolate by eating slowly. The sour mood slowly dissipates, and we genuinely laugh with the bird feels like forever. Thank you, Andy, the cat says. The woman with dangerous cheekbones and thinning hair has become my friend. I nod, realizing what she means. That Wednesday, those women realized they were stronger than the people that struck me so long. That Wednesday, I remember the day of the fall.
Check 2, 3.
How many of you here are on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, or any social media platform? How many of you are just checking one of those before coming here? Keep your hands raised. Look around the room. Last year was the first year that I was introduced to a device that redefined the way that I look at technology in the classroom. At first, I was very weary of the iPad, not sure of its intentions. I had a strong belief that it was just another way for the school to track your information and every move you make online. However, that didn't stop me from downloading Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Tumblr, and other social media. I truly became the /queen of social media, specifically Twitter. Following, you know what I'm talking about. Now because of this, my grades started to drop. Just when I had thought the iPad was letting me stay connected, it also turned into a giant vortex that took my attention away from school and put the spotlight onto my social life and social media presence. We hear over and over again both the positive and negative effects caused by social media and technology. One side argues that it helps us communicate more, while the other says that that isn't really communication or being social at all, but rather adding to the stresses and anxiety in our lives, all while creating a false sense of community. However, have we stopped to think that how we use technology and access social media is both the problem and the solution? It should not be whether or not the integration of technology has improved our daily lives, but rather how we have used them in order to have either positive or negative effects, and in turn, how we will be able to accommodate these tools in order to better fit our lifestyle. Now, I'm constantly trying to figure out new ways to approach technology, not only to benefit me, but others as well. For example, I'm a big fan of app smashing. Many have used this method even if you don't know the term. The app smashing is when content in one app is taken or enhanced or transferred to one or more other apps in order to produce the final product. This can be as simple as using your camera to take a photo, using a different app to edit the size of the photo to fit the Instagram square, and then taking that photo and transferring it to Instagram to put a filter, caption, and finally post. Even taking the PDF of a worksheet a teacher has uploaded onto Schoology or transferring it onto Knowability, writing on it, and turning it back in as an assignment is a form of app smashing. You can apply this method to almost any 2 or more apps in the market. This is becoming more common and every day in schools. We continue to see a high rate of technology integration. Patrick Larkin, the Assistant Superintendent for Learning for Burlington Public Schools in Massachusetts, attests that by forming an online professional learning network of educators who were working in classrooms where every student had a web-enabled device, we gained insights into best practices in teaching with iPads. Going along with this statement, more and more academic departments now have their own Twitter, hashtag, or even account. This allows for not only students, but teachers to have a greater access and sense of community with one another, and maybe post embarrassingly awkward teacher selfies to share since they may or may not know what Snapchat is yet. Larkin adds, the network has continued to grow and improve our staff's facility with technology. This shows that if we are taught to properly integrate technology into our lives, we can create an experience that will benefit us all in the long run. Looking back a year later, I do not have a single game or social media app on my iPad, and to tell you the truth, I don't recommend that you should either. I took the personal initiative to get rid of anything that might be irrelevant to my classes. I keep all those apps on my phone, not only because the school can see whatever you post or access on the iPad, but because it does not pertain to the curriculum. Which brings me to my next point. When it comes down to it, there's a place where we have to draw the line. It is important to create sacred places at home, in the workplace, and even in education, higher learning institutions, where we reclaim the space for conversation and time away from all the noise and chaos that the internet and technology tend to create. Ultimately, we are in control of the amount of content that we consume or put out. We can make adjustments to keep the distractions to a minimum and create an environment where people can work and be productive without feeling the need to constantly check their feed. While we can agree that there are both positive and negative effects to using technology, we should focus more on how we can improve how we access these tools that are provided to us in order to create a better human experience as a society. As psychologists and sociologists, Sherry Turkle writes, let's talk about how we can use digital technology, the technology of our dreams, to make this life the life we can live.
Not sad as in bad, but it's about sadness. So about that, there's an author that I like by the name of Clive Barker. He said that any fool can be happy. It takes a man with real heart to make beauty out of the stuff that makes us weak. So this poem here, I was inspired by Hindi and Urdu poetry, Urdu being the native language of Pakistan where I was born. To write this poem because the style of that kind of poetry is very distinct. Urdu poems are profound, powerful, have a lot of meaning in them. And with this poem, I will attempt to give you a stylistically Urdu/Hindi poem, but in English. So before I read it, I want to give you a little bit of background, because unlike reading a poem, hearing a poem is a bit different because you get to hear it only once. You don't really have time to analyze it. So this poem is basically a conversation between two individuals, and I hope you see that dynamic as I read it. I won't say much, but there is a mother who is communicating with her son who has passed away. I thought you needed those tidbits of information to fully grasp the meaning of the poem. The title of the poem is Hide and Seek. The shadows grow long, and I am weak. In this growing darkness, I cannot see your light. That's enough of hide and seek. Let me see you one last time, just a peek. Come, it's night. No words can describe this place. Where I am cannot be expressed. How then can I show my face? Here the vast sky is open for me to fly like your lullabies. It is beautiful and innocent here. My kite flies carelessly high, no one to cut it, no one to fear. Come, it's night. For your arrival, my eyes await. Speak not of my heart, it longs for your embrace. A burden of emotions, the twistings of fate. My lamp is missing, twilight is approaching soon. The sun is setting and gesturing, questioning, where is the moon? My heart calls out, where's my moon? Come, it's night. How can I show you these wonders? I've touched the blossoms of my dreams, the petals of my hopes. I have all of imagination to plunder. Here the sunlight is fused with the shade. I'm in a wonderful new realm. I have everything I want, every wish I ever made. But without you, I am still lonely. Thank you.
story real nice. Made me need to think twice, but you can't have my life. I'm broken hearted. You that got me stuck in the middle. I'm lost just a little bit more. Wherever we've been doesn't matter. I've lost all my battles with you. No more looking up to you. No more looking up to you. My last prayer, my last sin. Burn your book, it's no crime. I have found you within. You let me long time. You have gotten me stuck in the middle. I'm lost just a little bit more. Wherever we've been doesn't matter. I've lost all my battles with you. No more looking up to you. No more looking up to you.
So I just like to begin after following those acts to just lower your expectations. Let's just begin there. Speaking of which, I just like to give a shout out to Mrs. Ink and Mr. Anderson, my two awesome teachers. I'm very good this year because I go to them and I feel like I would just get chewed out if I didn't. So I'm Emily, I'm a senior, and I felt like I should pay tribute to the time I've spent here at Brown. 4 years is a long time of your life. If I was like in prison for that long, I'm sure by now I would have risen up to like the lead, like prison gang leader or something. But more realistically, like prison book club. But anyways, regardless, I'd be up there after 4 years. So I was thinking about Writers Week, and I kept thinking about the song, my favorite things from The Sound of Music, as one does when they're destined to be a prison leader, gang leader, whatever. And so Lady Gaga kind of stole my thunder at the Oscars, but this is my favorite and not so favorite things about high school. And I'm also a writer, not a singer, so my apologies. Enjoy. Shortened bell schedules, send-offs and days off, and finding new pencils when the teacher is gone and the sub does nothing. These are a few of my favorite things.
Kevin Wade, and I play the drums. Some of you may have seen my variety show drum solo, which was an incredible experience. Thank you. It was a ton of fun. I loved it, and I would have a lot of people who asked me, like, how did you come up with that? Because creating a 4-minute drum solo for an audience of mostly non-drummers and even non-musicians was somewhat of a challenge. And initially, I was sort of just get the answer that, oh, you know, I screwed around on my kit and threw together whatever sounded good, and that's true. But the more I examined the solo, the more I analyzed it, the more I realized there's a sort of structure to it, a musical formula that I can teach to all of you. So today, I'm going to teach you how to create and perform a drum solo. I wrote a beautiful speech about this, at least I think it's beautiful. But I do not have it today because my first tip is improvisation. Now I knew that solo pretty well, but I like to say I understood it better than I memorized it. I understood the grooves, when to come out of them, when to do a cool fill and stuff like that, but I did improvise quite a bit of that solo. A lot of that was just made up on the spot. Now I like to think it makes the drumming sound more natural and perhaps the speaking more natural. It's also somewhat more exhilarating because, you know, you can screw up at any second and, you know, ruin the act, but that's all part of the risk. So let's jump into drumming. So the first groove you're going to want to play is on a part of the kit that most people aren't acquainted with. So what I did is I played on the rims of my drums and used the hi-hat clutch. And it's not really something you hear in mainstream music very often, so I figured I'll get some creativity points, right? So I'm just going to play that really quick. Right, so right off the bat, you have the audience thinking, wow, he is so creative. He doesn't even need to hit the drums. It's not really that creative. Like, I hear that, like, in Mutts, the band we played before, like, Mr. Pignani played on the rims all the time. It's just that, you know, it's not predominantly used, so people don't understand it quite as well. Again, the tip I'm going to try to stress here is that you're trying to deceive the audience. They don't understand drumming. You do. Use that to your strength. Okay? So, we have the creativity, right? It's kind of soft. It's not very loud. It's not that impressive. So what we're going to do for our next groove is we're going to play a drum roll. Now a drum roll, we're actually going to do the same rudiment that we played before on the rims. And it's called a paradiddle. It's right, left, left, left. It's very easy. But when you speed it up and play it super fast and you have like the cymbals going, it looks really cool and complex. So I'm going to play that now. That's not particularly difficult to play. I think most people who play the drums for a couple months could probably do that. When you hit cymbals, you're playing fast and it's loud and it's cool, and you're having fun, it looks interesting, it looks impressive, and you're trying to blow the audience away. So, next, we're going to what I like to call a progressive metal groove. Now, most people do not listen to progressive metal. Most people have not heard Matt Halpern's drum tracks of Periphery or Matt Garska's of Animals as Leaders. They don't know it, but you do. So you're going to use that to your advantage. And they'll credit you with the creativity and the ingenuity with those grooves. So what we're going to do is we're going to play on the staff cymbal, which is a gorgeous cymbal. You've got two cymbals on top of each other, which looks beautiful. And then what we're going to do is have a lot of double bass going, and then maybe some syncopation on the snare, which is a new accent, notes that aren't usually accented, and then maybe like a funky time signature or something, I don't even know. So I'm going to play that really quick. Okay, so again, that's a cool sounding groove, very different from what most people are used to. And also, like, they start like bobbing their heads. It's a good groove. I like it. So next what we're going to do is we're going to provide a contrast with that groove. So that groove had a lot of bass drum, a lot of low frequency sounds, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make it very fast beat, a lot of high frequency sounds. Now, I don't even really know what the rudiment for this is. It's like right, left, right, left, something like that. I just know how to play it. So I'm going to play that really quick, and we're going to analyze it. again, we're just providing a contrast. It's fast, kind of gets you like going and really excited. And then we're just gonna block that groove immediately, and we're gonna go into something really nice and slow. I'm gonna start like closing my eyes, making weird facial expressions. I'm just gonna be enveloped in the groove per se, because I want to show them into it. Because if you show that you love what you're doing, that you really do care, people are gonna care. They're gonna find it to be more interesting. So I'm gonna play out of that groove I was playing before, and then go into the little groovy slow thing I was talking about. So right there, we just proved that. We added another dynamic. I'm trying to say, you need to make this solo dynamic. You're making a song. You're not just trying to be flashy and crazy and wild. There needs to be a little bit of control. Let your solo breathe a little bit. Okay, the next part is somewhat of a fan favorite. It's stick tricks. So just throw your sticks, twirl, something like that in the middle of the groove, so I'm going to play that. That point, really try very hard to practice a lot, because if you screw up, it's just so uncomfortable. I'm really happy I didn't. If I drop my stick, over there, I don't know what I would do. So that would have been interesting. Next part. Okay, the next part is what I like to call the false crescendo. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing on the toms and snare. We're going to have a little bass going. It's going to seem like the end. I'm going to go crazy and have tons of fun and stuff. It's not the end, just let you know. But again, we're trying to trick the audience, give them a sense of completion, and then I'll let you know what comes next. So basically what we're going to be playing is kind of a very typical metalcore build. So it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It's really easy. It's just when you speed it up, it looks super cool. So I'm going to play that right now. Okay. Reverberate throughout the auditorium, perhaps peering out in the audience. Then right when everyone thinks you're done, right when everybody thinks, oh boy, we can go home now, what you're going to want to do, explode. Raise a stick or something as the lights go dark. It's not happening here. We're not going to do that for the sake of this show. So now I suppose I'm just going to go into more general principles about passion and playing an instrument or anything like that that really got me here. So if I were to give you people advice about how to get good at something to the point where you can play solo in front of 300 people or so and excel, or at least be proficient enough to do it, I would just say practice and passion. I've played the drums every day for the last 7 years. I don't go to drum lessons. I don't have a class where I learn about the drums. I just do it at home because I love it, and it's amazing, and there's no other sensation like it in the world, at least to me. So I don't care if you're juggling tire irons, or you're knitting, or playing Clash of Clans, which is also a great hobby. But just, if you love what you do, you put in the time, the effort, you commit yourself, not like the typical apathetic teenager who doesn't care about anything. If you really do care, you can be great. So, that is my speech. Thank you.